Y'all trying not to be alone out here, but at some point you gotta stop ignoring the red flags like they don't exist. Just because you don't want 1 + 1 to equal 2, that don't mean live in an imaginary world where it's 47, because that's not how math works. Because the truth is, people don't even be lying that hard for real. A lot of times they'll tell you the truth, but you just don't want to believe it because you don't want it to be true. Like, I'll be watching Investigation Discovery, and then they'll say something stupid like, oh yeah, he killed 17 people. And like, it's crazy because we never would have saw this coming. He was such a nice guy. Even though we know he was cutting the heads off of stray animals and worshiping the devil, and he wrote a book about killing his whole family. He was just such a nice guy. We would have never thought he'd hurt a fly. Like, what are you talking about? Homegirl, if he got 3 kids and he don't take care of none of them, your little number 4 ain't nothing but the next one on the list to be neglected. It ain't finna be no different. Bro, if you approach a woman and she tell you don't want these problems, or she push you off in any kind of way that wasn't just a flat out no, that's not a challenge. What that was her trying to save your life, because 6 months from now, you'd be calling her crazy like that's not what she was trying to tell you in the beginning. Fam, if somebody tell you something bad about theyself, you should probably take their word for it, because if anybody gonna be an expert on them, it'll be them. I'm just saying, if you was to walk into a burning building, right? Somebody in there is like, hey, this building is on fire. You should leave right back out that door, and you want to just keep walking in like you Superman. You got every right to do that. I'm just saying, don't be surprised when you get burnt to a crisp. Okay, if they cheated on somebody to be with you, you got every right to be with that person. But what you don't have the right to do is be shocked and perplexed if you catch them in bed with somebody else. If you was to go behind your fiance's back to date your ex-boyfriend's best friend, or if you were to go behind your best friend's back after he got deported to Mexico to be with his ex-girlfriend, even though she was engaged, I'm just saying, y'all really can't be surprised by what happens afterwards, because I don't see how either one of y'all can trust each other. I'm sorry, it got a little too real. Give me a moment. If you was to do something wrong to somebody for no good reason and then reach out to them for a favor, would you really be surprised when they didn't do it? Because, like, what kind of sense would that make? If you bothering somebody and they tell you to leave them alone 10 to 15 times, how shocked are you really when you get punched in the face? He told you he didn't want no kids, yet y'all had sex, unprotected, and when you got pregnant, you ain't seen him in 6 months, and you wondering why? Or are you really wondering why? Because I think you know. Dog, she told you she wasn't leaving her man for you, and look at you. Now you sitting in the back row of her wedding where they about to get married for the rest of their life. You just sitting there like you can't believe it's happening. It's like my next door neighbor, Mr. Bob, used to always say, don't let the feelings and don't let that sex mess with your mind. Take care of your grandma and stay in school. Now that I think about it, he also said ain't nothing wrong with hitting a cow from the back, so we just gonna edit that out, because don't listen to Mr. Bob. Moral of the story, stop ignoring the red flags because you like somebody, because you ain't gonna do nothing but hurt your own feelings, and it's really not even their fault at that point. Like, I don't see why, if it look like a snake, move like a snake, sound like a snake, everything about it says it's a snake, I don't see why you gotta get bit 17 times before you go, hey, that's a snake. Like, don't be dumb. That's the end of the video song. All right, bye.